everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Mystical Wellness podcast. This is our Galactic Support Series with David Purcell, who is an psionic super soldier, ET conscious contact, galactic emissary, and all-round amazing person. So, David, how are you? How have you
I'm
been?
better now. It was a little bit of a rough week, but I'm doing better now.
Yeah. Have you had any weird experiences this week that you can share with us? Anything interesting?
Well, yeah, ever since I got rid of the reptilians that are around me, now that when I leave, like they leave the radiant when I let go of my car, they're like swarm me to the point where it's getting really problematic, and I didn't realize how bad Pennsylvania has a reptilian problem is. And someone told me it's probably because of the mines. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, so the other thing I did was I found I was talking to a gray, a negative gray. It was one of the grays that had experimented on me when I was a child. And I talked to him and I says, "What did you do to me?" And he goes, "We did a lot." I go, "What specifically?" He goes, "We learned a lot from you." I go, "What abilities did you do?" He goes, "Your telepathy was very good and you were very good at seeing. We had a lot of experiences. We did a lot with you." And I'm like, and they kept saying we learned a lot. And I says, "Did you learn empathy? Did you learn human dignity? Did you learn about consent?" And they started looking around, getting a little scared, and they didn't answer me. I go, "Did you learn when someone says no to leave them alone?" I do for, and then all of a sudden I just burned them all. I knew where they were. I astral traveled to the facility and I burned them all. And they were like, "But we did so much." And I'm like, "Yes, you did do a lot. I'm going to acknowledge that, but you failed on the basic things of empathy, consent, and decency. And you don't need to be around anymore." And so after that, I let some of the kids out that were being tied down. After that, I was kind of tired and tried to sleep for a while.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm in, Ivan Teller, and he's got that monthly webinar of like $10. So I asked two questions, and one of them was about my relationship with the Zeta Grays. And he said, similar to what someone else has said, really, my relationship's like 50-50. Sometimes they're really good and they help me. And other times they're just torturing me and filling me with implants and radiation and things like that. So that was quite interesting to get that confirmation. But he also said that it was my family that was connected to the Zeta Grays. He believed it was my dad, which makes sense for me because my dad was military before I was born. He was in Army and Navy, and so was my granddad and things like that. So my dad was psionic, but we only really spoke about astral travel a little bit. He didn't share anything else with me. And then the other question I had with Ivan Teller was about a near-death experience that I'd had, and I can't remember how old I was. I think I was between 8 and 10. And he clarified on that yeah, it really was a near-death drowning experience. And it was like an activation of my psychic abilities. So that was a really like, that felt really harsh. Yeah, I could feel that was really deep. So that's something that I kind of want to explore because I know it's Monic related. Because the person that drowned me in the swimming pool, my dad we used to go to this health club, which is in a big hotel in Liverpool, and my dad had introduced this man to me, and I can't remember his name, but but I always remember he said this guy, this person was a spy working at the docks. And, for a child who's like 10 years old, that's quite funny, isn't it? Like, this is James Bond working at the docks. But now my perspective is, well, that's obviously Monic related to get me into the super soldier program stuff. So it's really bizarre. So yeah, so that's my my Zeta Grey update. So yeah.
I was watching Rob's show yesterday, and I saw you have some connection with Thor. Would you like to go into that?
Yeah, with Valiant Thor. So I know I have a connection to Venus because it's come up previously when I had a reading with Misha Johnston. And the question I asked her was, what council am I actually connected to? And it said I was connected to the Venusian Council. But since then, what's come forward is that there's actually 3 aspects of me on Venus. Or inside Venus, or on a ship that's related to Venus. And the version of me connected to the council is the Galactic Record Keeper. So it's a high authority position regarding information. And that's been confirmed again with what happened with David Starr the other day. So, but since I found out about Venus, it's made me look into Valiant Thor more, because everyone just says, "Oh, if you're from Venus, you must know Valiant Thor," and you're like, "Well, not personally, not really." So I did do some research, and then he came out on Typical Skeptic last night and confirmed, yes, there is a telepathic connection at times when I've been doing research into him. So that's great, and that they can visit people on this planet who they have a relationship with. So over time, there must have been a relationship with me, either in a past life or with my family lineage. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So you had an experience with Valiant Thor. Do you think he's going to come and channel through you?
Do I think he's going to come and channel through me today?
Not today, but just
Oh,
in
okay, yeah.
general.
No, I wouldn't be surprised because when I met with him, one of the things he was surprised, A, that I could talk to him and hear him,
Mm.
and he was having a conversation with somebody else. I didn't know I was eavesdropping for me because the conversation was like right in front of me. I didn't even realize it was telepathic.
Yeah.
And so he starts cracking a joke, and I start laughing. The guy he's having the conversation with looks at me and goes, "Why are you laughing?" I go, "Oh, that's funny." And he goes, "You can hear that?" And they both had that same exact time of, "Wait, you can hear me?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, yeah, why? He's right here, isn't he?" And I thought he was like in the room and it was just like over something. He goes, "No." And then he started talking back, having more conversations, and he asked me to repeat what he said, and he was like, "It's interesting." And then he started talking to me separately from the other guy, and the other guy got a little annoyed. It's like, "Hey, this is my thing." Nothing like nothing ego, just like kind of like
Yeah.
it's just, "Hey, this is my thing."
That's my conversation here. But
Yeah.
Valiant Thor did confirm that he was at the conference and he was
Oh yeah, I
using
definitely saw him.
holography and psionics to mask himself. So you could have walked straight by him. You could have sat next to him and you wouldn't
No,
have known it was
he
actually him.
well, the thing was, the message I got from him was he actually invited me outside to where he was. He showed me him sitting outside on a ledge or something like that, and with some chairs. And
Yeah.
the only reason I didn't go outside with him is because it was the last day of the conference. I was worn out and exhausted. And in general, my rule is I don't want to meet a powerful being when I'm in a weakened state. I
Okay.
don't think he would have tried anything. It's just my
Yeah.
own little thing
I
of
get that.
because even when I was talking to him after a while and I tuned in, I was like, okay, this is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on the Typical Skeptic last night, I asked two questions. One was about a connection, which he confirmed, which is great, and the other one was about the shape shifting and changing their face. And it is something basically that I said that reptilians do it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that
also,
it's a
yeah,
psionic ability. It's not them
yeah,
actually turning into like molding their face. It's more psionic than anything.
yeah. But they talked about holography, and I had to look into what that was. So he's literally changing the environment around him and projecting that out so that you're seeing it in 3D, who he's
Yeah.
becoming. I think that's fascinating. I mean, maybe that's something that I can do, because I heard somebody said in the chat that Doctor Who series is based on VAL 4, and I never
Yeah.
thought about it. I couldn't find anything about it when I was looking. But the Time Lord DNA is in my lineage, and same for Drago Reed as well. We do have Time Lord DNA, so we can naturally time travel as record keepers. That's something that we need to do, and it's just part of the Venusian aspect, I guess. Yeah, really interesting. But it was nice to get that confirmation that there is a connection there, and that I guess he'd be there if I needed to, call out to him or
Well, what he
whatever.
told me to do was he wanted me to do intuitive writing and see
Yeah,
where just test out how far I could actually go with him.
yeah,
But every time I've done it, someone else has showed up and it's like there's a line and he's like,
yeah,
I was here. The guy goes like, we gotta go to this first. And he's like, fine, I'll wait. But he gets a little like, kind of I have other things to do.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah, I'm trying
amazing.
yeah, so it was that and like I said, it was interesting talking to him for a while. He was it's hard to describe because a couple of times I did see a face, and as soon as I like locked in on the face, it got blurry.
Right.
And he was like kind
Yeah.
of like you weren't supposed to see that.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
And when I was describing what he looked like, and he's like, "You saw that?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." So we're having like a three-way conversation at this point, which was the first time I've ever done that telepathically. We were using more of Thor as the main one, as opposed to
Mm.
me and him having direct telepathic connection.
Yeah.
But it was interesting having the three-way call because usually, like when I'll do that in my head, it's like a bad Zoom call with the.
Right.
But this one was nice, clear. Everyone had a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing.
If you ever had like had folk like 5 or 10 people on the Zoom at the same time over a bad connection, that's what it's like in
Yeah.
my head sometimes.
Yeah. I've got I had a session with somebody who has this gateway of light portal, it's Joshua Shapiro, and his wife has passed on and she's now angelic. And you can communicate through this chat thing that he's created. And one of the questions I asked was about my soul name. And then I also asked about my Arcturian name. So I'm trying to get into more Arcturian work right now. Because I was told a while back that there's a ship, an Arcturian ship that's near me where I'm there in stasis. So I know Arcturian is part of my lineage. But I've got 2 names and I just wondered if you got anything off them. The first one is my soul flame name and it's Alane Ra. Yeah, it's like Alane Ra.
Yeah, I know. I just remember I'm seeing a bunch of little blue dudes saying that, looking at you.
Yeah. So that's supposed to be like a soul essence name, as my flame scribe name. But my Arcturian commander name is similar to the name that I actually received like about 2 years ago now. I was in meditation in a private sound bath, and I just kept asking over and over, what is my name? What is my name? And I heard a voice say, your name is THOR. So I thought, okay, that must be my Atlantean name, I thought.
No, that's
And
a
then,
that's a commander's name. It's a rank.
yeah, so, but my full Arcturian commander name is Talanea. It's Talanea. So what does that sound like to you?
Linnea.
Talanea.
Why does that sound so familiar to me? Oh, I suck at names. Oh, you had to ask
Yeah,
me
I
that.
know you do. But it's the resonance on the name. It's the energy.
Yeah, I know there's a vibration.
Yeah.
I can like see it. I can feel it. Just no
Yeah,
stupid words. Oh, God. You did this on purpose with the name, didn't you?
I do. But I just want to see, because I mean, the soul name, that's a House of Ra name, so that's quite interesting. I do consider myself to be very solar, but the
Do you also
Arcturian,
speak light language?
I do, but not very well. I have about
Okay,
3
I've
that
been
come
trying to get
forward.
it going, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
sometimes it
I mainly do
come.
handwork. I do light hands.
Okay.
So, but
I didn't know that
the
was what I was doing, but until I was doing a light language class, and they said,
yeah.
"Oh, you're doing the thing with the hands." I'm like, "Is that what's happening?" Because that was just happening.
Yeah, so you're making sacred geometry with your hands and you're sending those vibrations out. That's
Yeah.
the main one I do. But part of the Arcturian work and the soul thing was about I'm a tone medic. So my voice has resonance. My voice is awakening. And I know I
Okay, so
emit the
that's why you
DMT.
activate people when you talk to them, and
Yeah. And then because
okay.
of the super soldier activation, I literally produce DMT because of this lab disaster. And I can drug people with my voice, apparently, and Drago Reed's possibly the same. But me and him are tone medics. So
Oh,
our
you must be fun at
voice,
parties.
yeah, well, we can take down an army with our
Yay!
voice. Imagine if we got together, everyone would just be asleep. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, well, when I do meditations, a lot of people pass out basically, and he does QHHT, so he puts people into hypnosis, so it's handy being a tone medic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Talanea sounds familiar then.
It it's I know that I've said that word. I've been a part of that. I know that. I have a freaking connection, and I can see everyone else. And the Arcturians are just going. I can see them going. Come on, work it out, sound it out. And I'm like, you know how I am with names.
Yeah.
Like,
So do you have an Arcturian aspect yourself?
I probably do because I've been around a lot,
Yeah.
apparently. And I know I've worked with the Octarians, so I'm surprised. Like a couple of times they've come over and helped me with some other stuff, but I've been talking to them more recently. They haven't, well, not in the last week or so. It's been kind of me getting reused to everything, so it's been a little
Yeah, the
hard.
Arcturian energy is really high right now because I feel my violet flame is changing to a blue and purple flame. So that's the Arcturian essence coming in for
Okay,
sure.
that's what I was getting because like for the last half hour or so, I've been getting a little blue and purple, and I'm like,
Yeah,
it doesn't feel negative. It just feels like
no.
it's going up.
Well, it's actually blue starlight is starting to anchor through me from Arcturus, and because
Well,
when I
thank you for
had that,
doing that.
you're welcome. I am the anchor. So when
Yes.
David Starr was doing his channeling the other day on Typical Skeptic, and he started to talk about me and my connection to the Orion Wars, and I don't know a lot about the Orion Wars, except that a couple of years ago I was doing healing with somebody, quantum healing, and they just kept telling me that I was holding on to so much rage from the Orion Wars. And yeah, I've been angry my whole life, but it wasn't even my anger. It was this collective rage and this tragedy consciousness that I was kind of anchored into. So I started healing that a couple of years ago. So I don't embody the rage as much anymore. But David Starr was talking about literally that I was off planet. I was part of the Galactic Alliance, but I still connected into this lower vibrational tragedy consciousness. And I was on an important mission. I was working with a group of really beloved beings, a big mixture of galactic beings to defend the planet, to defend Earth. And that was the first time I got entangled in Earth consciousness. And I actually have my guide team, somebody called it a consortium of guides. So that's why my guide team is so mixed. So that makes sense now why I've got such a wide guide team of all different races. And but David Starr was saying that my role was really important because I'm connected to loads of galactics on this planet. And I've got this technology that I'm anchoring in. And he actually anchored it through me, like brought it forward in the consciousness, anchored it into the planet, so it should start coming forward for everybody. But it was this blue starlight from Arcturus that was like part of the technology, so that's one of my home planets. And he's saying she's holding technology, and the technology was star intelligence, galactic mapping of people's prime planets. So I was kind of bringing back the memory for everybody's home planet. So how does that feel when you feel into that? That's mad, isn't it? But I was anchoring in higher love fields and higher consciousness templates, really just anchoring in people's home planets. So when you start to remember, you'll be able to access your home planet consciousness more now, allegedly. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, everything you said right now, I'm just remembering reading about that, and that's probably why we took you.
Yeah.
Because you were that valuable, plus you had that much anger. That's something we wouldn't pass up.
Yeah. And when you say we, you're talking about Dark Fleet now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to be clear that, like I said, a lot of the stuff has changed. There's not just the Knockwaffen anymore. There's not just a Kruger. There's not just a Solar Warden. There's a lot more up there now. So things are changing for the better. It's going slow, but it's getting there.
But one of the reasons why I've been targeted so much is because of this information that was held in my consciousness that I wasn't aware of fully. But this galactic mapping, star intelligence. So as a record
people
keeper,
don't get targeted that aren't valuable.
Yeah. So it's just part of the records that I'm holding on to for the galaxy. So the knowledge
Generally,
within me
the more targeted you are, the more valuable you are.
Yeah.
So just remember that for anyone who's listening, the more you are targeted, the more valuable you actually are.
Yeah.
Because these people do not waste their time and energy on nobodies. They will only go after high priority targets, something of great value.
Yeah. But one of the questions most people have is, who am I? Where am I from? And that information should hopefully start coming forward for people now. They'll know where they're from because the information is now available in the planetary records because of what happened with my...
Can you access that at will yet? Have you tried that?
Not yet. I haven't, because I'm still healing. But I will. Okay. I know it's going to come forward. I do starseed lineage readings already, but I use cards to help me do that, like the Experiencer deck by Misha Johnston. I use pendulum work to help me do that. But I just know now that my intuition is going to be a lot more accurate when I look at somebody and say, yeah, I know that you're Lyran. So, because it's going to just come from within me. Yeah. So,
no, I have a question, because I know a lot of psychics can be blind about themselves. Have you been blind about yourselves? I mean, it's sort of getting like intuitions of like, don't touch this, is bad, or something like that. But like, I feel like a lot of personal
like the star lineage and type stuff. No, I always knew I was Andromedan. I always knew I was Arcturian and Syrian and things like that. But it's so mixed that it's hard to get like a prime planet on it, isn't it? Because we've lived so many lifetimes, we're so ancient. So that prime planet information was almost lost, but it was held within my code. So, yeah. So I don't know. So I've always thought of myself as a mixing pot of DNA. But hopefully...
I always thought of myself as the outsider of the outsiders.
Yeah. But that's where we are together.
So yeah. you learned a little bit about the Orion Wars. Now I know next to nothing about them, so I'm interested to learn.
Well, you know what? I'm going to get up the Ascension Glossary because that's where I get my information from about the Orions. It's very much about the Draconians. Hold on.
Oh, how surprised you're involved.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get my laptop on so that I can see. So ascensionglossary.com is all Lisa Renee, and she's channeled all that through. And yeah, so that's really the go-to when I started to try and get information. And some people would say to me, oh, come on, you just need to upgrade your gnosis. And I was like, but where'd you get this information from? And I got it from Ascension Glossary. So that's just one point of view. But it's interesting when you find people who are on the exact same wavelength with galactic history.
Is it, are they actually remembering what happened, or are they just in an echo chamber?
A bit of both, I think, a bit of both. So Felix Hyde was the quantum healer that I was working with a couple of years ago when I started to get memories coming back. And in our sessions together, he'd say things to me like, well, I can see you stealing a ship and killing everybody. And I said, who am I? It just doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? And we kind of decided that I was a bit like Han Solo, but bad. I was the bad guy doing it. And I just thought it doesn't make any sense. And then recently I realized, well, I wouldn't be doing that if I wasn't a super soldier. Surely I wouldn't do that if I wasn't in Dark Fleet. I wouldn't be like stealing spaceships and stuff. And so I've come to terms with that a bit now. Because when I got my first memory about me being in a lab on Orion, and I was like, and I had a super soldier next to me, and I was transferring my consciousness back and forth between me and the soldier. And I said to him, who the hell am I? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I be like in some genetic lab on Orion? And now it makes sense because I've got the super soldier aspect, the Monarch programming, the Kruger, and all that kind of stuff. So now I kind of understand where it's coming from. But until you find that context, until you meet that right person who's got that like flame code for you, you know, it's really tricky. Let me just find the information about the Orion Wars so it makes sense because I'm not great at explaining things sometimes.
I thought you were a tone medic.
Yeah. Well, I can
Stop
tone.
armies.
Hey, I can tone. So the main battles in human galactic history were fought in the constellation of Orion. So these many wars are referred to as the Orion Wars. And in our universal time matrix, the wars started over territories in the constellation of Lyra, the cradle of Lyra. But soon the Lyran Wars spread to the constellation of Orion, and it became a war between the false king of tyranny mindset, ideologies with the service to others, which follow the law of one. So essentially, this is the seed of the war over consciousness between the Christ and the Antichrist. So the many humanoid races were committed to the law of one and service to others, Christoc ideology. The opposing groups were mixtures of humanoids and reptilian races that propagated service to self and Antichrist methods. So this was a tyrannical control and service to self ideology originated in constellations of Draco and Orion. A genetic hatred generated from the Orion group digressed into the violent killing and destruction at the expense of others, which resulted in propagation of the victimizer mind control templates. So that's the basic the synopsis. It was 20 million years ago. It was the main galactic war history of human holocaust. Lyran, Elohim, overseeing fifth dimensional earth seeding, genetic hatred, black hole entities, and the seed of the Antichrist conflict. That's basically what it says there. The Lyran Wars, Orion Wars. So yeah, so we're caught up in this. We're still caught up in it because a lot of us try to defend Earth at this point in time 20 million years ago. So gives you an idea of how old we are there.
Yeah.
Since I was in the Galactic Alliance 20 million years ago. Yeah.
I mean, when he downloaded the telepathic image of all that war, that's the basics of what happened.
Yeah. So that's what it says on Ascension Glossary. I've read that verbatim there, so I, you know, but it's there's a lot more information there about the wars, and also there's a lot of mixed information as well about kind of like the Orion Black League.
Yeah,
so but we're getting into the Star Wars here. Yeah.
As soon as you started mentioning that, I'm starting to see a bunch of black pyramids floating around.
Yeah. Now I do have a connection to Black Pyramid ships because of my Lyran DNA, which is why they call to me. And there's one not far from me in Liverpool, literally less than a mile from me. I've visited it 2 or 3 times now. And I literally, the last time I just walked straight through it, resonated through it, and took a seat in the command chair. I could see there were soldiers on the outside. I think I talk about this in one of my videos on the ACIO. And I just knew the ship wanted to go. It's like held against its will, along with 2 other smaller black pyramids, which are hooked into the light grid. Yeah, so I have a connection to the Lyran technology as well, as you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should also be a few orbs floating around the pyramids. Do you see that as well?
Not in this one near me because it's in a polygon, but the one in Alaska, yes,
Okay. And those
or
orbs are not like
Antarctica.
energy orbs. Those seem more like a weapon defense system.
Yeah, definitely in Antarctica, there's a weapon defense system.
Okay. Oh, gee, Antarctica. What a surprise.
Yeah. There are other black pyramids, but I'm not sure where they're located. So I honed into those main 3.
Because I just like
Uh,
I said, I saw them coming out into a reality. Like they were just
yeah,
like going in. It was like an old trick, you know, you go behind
yeah,
something, you vanish.
yeah.
So
And
that's
these
what I.
are these are real black shaped pyramids. These are not TR3B like triangle craft. These are proper black
Yeah.
pyramid. Yeah, because I know the TR3B like triangle craft is all naval. But yeah, so the main one here, not sure how it got trapped there where I am in that because I'm connected to this Liverpool polygon where there was a
It
massive
was
lab
looking for somebody,
disaster.
and it was looking for somebody, and it got injured.
Yeah. But I know it's possible that I've used this ship
It's stuck in a
to
hold.
go to go into the
It's
future.
waiting for orders. It's like someone has put it in a loop of just idling.
Yeah, because
It's waiting.
on my video with the ACIO, which released last month, which we did it months and months ago, we're talking about me going into the future, into the steampunk future, 2077 or whatever it is. But I'm using my Black Pyramid to rescue people from the future, which is like the the Elon future, and bring them back into the past so that they're refugees here, basically, better off in this timeline. So I've got a connection to this ship, but they basically told me off the ACIO saying that I'm running missions alone, it's too dangerous, I shouldn't be doing that. But I'm not consciously aware of what I'm doing when I'm in that version of me, like the Lyran DNA takes over and I
Just
start to,
just be careful with the AOC thing because
yeah,
I was talking to a Gray the other day and he goes, "You stupid humans don't realize that's our boy."
yeah. So
So I mean,
I mean, I'm using my discernment on the ACIO. They've been around for a really, really long time, a lot longer than they let people believe, and they are definitely linked to the Kruger side of things as well. And trying to say that Kruger's good in this timeline, but so use your discernment there. But they do have access to information, and what I'll say to everybody when you're accessing these military files is use the resonance in your body. Your body knows if it's true or not, and there was a lot of information that I resonated with, and there was some not so much that didn't make it into the video as well, and but other things there, and my body knew it was true. And when you look at my face on that video, I'm white as a ghost. I really am looking quite sickly through the whole video because I just could feel, oh my god, this is me, this is multiple versions of me across multiple realms of existence, and trying to put that together in your mind that you're multidimensional, that you don't have one timeline, that you've done multiple 20 and backs and things like that. It was a lot for me to take in. So when you watch the video, which is on Jessica Ariel Morocco's channel, linked in on my playlist, I think, you see I look really ill on that video. So
you know,
that's an indication that it was true for me at that point in time. And I've spent a lot of time verifying information. I usually use 4 different psionics in our community to verify the information that I receive from others or I get myself. So I've got multiple kind of like, stop points to verify information. Yeah.
it's
Like
interesting.
yourself. Hey.
Thank you. It's interesting that you mentioned the multidimensional parts of yourself because
Mm.
a couple days ago I was talking to someone and we're talking about the mantises, and he goes, "What's their end goal?" And I got distracted because something else came up because I don't have an attention span. And I asked them when I talked to them later that day, I said, "By the way, what is actually your end goal?"
Yeah.
And they said, we want for humans to get to a point where they can take care of themselves, be responsible, not hurt each other or harm each other, care for the planet, realize that you're multidimensional beings and act accordingly.
Yeah.
They really emphasize the multidimensional part of it. Because I've been learning that like stuff that I will do will bleed through other dimensions, even if I don't intend to it. So they're like, yeah, we understand your humans got a lot going on, but if you guys can just focus on where you are, make sure your intention is where you are, so that stuff doesn't bleed through the other parts and affect everything else, that would be good. Because I was talking to this guy and he was like, what happens here on Earth, because Earth is a multidimensional planet.
Yeah.
It's on those lines. So if Earth goes good, the universe goes good. If Earth goes bad, the universe goes bad. And
Yeah.
they were like, just please be aware of how multidimensional and powerful you people really are.
Can you see? Do I need to take off my background because I've just got a massive resonance come in here? And
Oh, I like the other one better.
who's with me? Somebody's here with me.
Well, we were calling in a lot of ship energy. That's your
Yeah,
ship.
it's like the resonance just went really
Yeah,
into my
that's
ears.
the ship. That's the
Okay,
artificial
that's the
intelligence of the
ship.
ship trying to look
Okay,
up to you.
put my background back on. So it's like insane. Yeah. So
That's the ship.
I was thinking, I'm thinking, is it mantids? What is it? It's like energy just went really high in my ears.
Yeah, the ship's trying to get a hold of you.
Yeah, so I've literally been warned not to contact the ship, which makes me suspicious.
Contact the ship then. Yeah, do exactly what the voices in your head tell you to do.
No, it's
Come
the
on.
ACIO. ACIO saying, oh, is it dangerous? She's not on a team. She blah, blah, blah. And you think,
Good.
actually, yeah.
Good.
I'm rogue, of course. And running
Yes.
my own missions.
Good. Take your ship, go have fun. Don't listen to those people.
Yeah. It was quite funny. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot more ships on the planet. Right now, there's like 23 ships on the planet. Black pyramids.
I'm 100% serious. It's waiting for you to give commands.
Yeah, I
So
get
if you
that.
tell it what to do, it's going to do it. So
But it's knowing what to do. It's knowing what the command is. Because I've been told not to rescue people from that dodgy future.
Why?
I'm not too sure. It creates time anomalies when you bring people from the future.
If they're not giving you specific answers, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I don't see how rescuing somebody from a bad situation and giving them an opportunity for a better one is entirely bad.
You got to be careful because there's references to me being from another timeline, and when you're not from this timeline, it creates problems in this timeline because you're not meant to be here. So therefore, there's no abundance for me in this timeline and things like that.
What do you want then?
It's really tricky. I want abundance.
All right then. So take your ship, go get abundance, and have fun. Tell us everybody.
I'm gonna go back to my other timeline, grab my money, come back here.
Like I'm literally seeing the ship waiting for orders. Like it's powering up.
I know.
And it's like, come on, call me. Just say the words, and we're good.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know what phrase to say.
Oh well, there's a tone. Yes, there's a tone, but I don't know what it is.
But you know how to say it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but I've been told I've got this Arcturian ship, which is meant to be, and this was channeled last year by Soma Ara, saying there's an Arcturian ship in the sea near me, and where I am, I'm actually on a peninsula, so we've got rivers on two sides, and we've got the sea on the top, but I'm near that shipping yard, so I actually wonder if my Arcturian ship is in the shipping yard. What do you get off that? Do you reckon?
I'm more focused on the other ship that's literally powering up and just waiting for you to give the command.
Well, I do need that to stand down, or we're going to have a problem, aren't we? So, because there's active military around the ship.
Oh yeah, they are not liking the fact that the ship's active.
Yeah.
And the ship's like, dude, say the words, and I'll take them all out.
No, we
do you hear the alarms going off?
Yes.
Yeah. So either activate the ship or tell it to calm down.
Yeah, so we do need to stand down. Yeah.
It's not time yet. Sorry, ship.
Stand down. Oh, that's quite funny. But yeah, so I keep getting pulled back to this location, and because they were with all the the Project Phoenix and everything, they were literally using that shipping yard as a base to open up pockets of existence to take us into the Project Phoenix or whatever it was, and So even though I tried to get away from this location when I was like 18, 19, I ended up coming back when I was 40. And so I've been back 10 years nearly now. And but I get why I'm here now, but it was like a forced return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had asked me a while ago about any time travel experience I had. Now, I
Mm,
remember being in other times, like in the past and different stuff like that. Now, how I actually got there was something I didn't have a memory of up until
yeah.
recently. So what it was for me was I just remember literally entering a room, walking forward, and being in another time. I wasn't in a chair. I wasn't in that. I mean, there was a couple times we did it in a ship, but I remember for most of the missions that I would just walk into a room like anything else. So
Yeah.
that's the time travel I remember. But I also do remember going in time travel on a couple of ships.
But when you walked through the door portal, do you remember what like year you were in or anything like that? What it looked like?
I want to say the portal I remember walking through, it seems like I was somewhere in the 1850s.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah,
Because I remember like I was supposed to look for somebody else that was that apparently one of the other kids that was in the group.
yeah.
But I just kind of got sick. But I remember seeing him, but something didn't go right, and I was drawn back.
Mm. See, with the Montauk time travel stuff, I or Project Ibis, I've got Ibis memory of holding the time travel crystal, but Montauk is quite sketchy, and yeah, I need to get more comfortable with that. I mean, like Drago Reed was talking about facing his fears. He
Yeah.
took down every fear that he had, and it allowed him to remember. And although he doesn't recommend it for other people, but that makes me think I need to start doing a little bit of that. I need to face this fear I have about demons and things like that. I need to face it. And
Yeah, you probably should face that one.
yeah,
It's,
considering that I was married to a
it's,
demon.
yeah. I think you probably should. Yeah, that's probably high on the list of things to do.
Yeah, it was funny. I was on TikTok live with the Urban Warlock, and he was talking about daemons, not demons, and he was saying there's a difference. He works with daemons, not demons. And I put in about being a demon bride, and he's just looking at the messages like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, literally married to a demon, and he couldn't get it. But that comes into the SRA stuff, doesn't it? And
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot.
mm,
And
yeah,
yes, when you're glad that you don't have that anymore in your life. You're better off
yes.
without it.
I am better off without my demon. Yes,
Yes, that's a
I
lesson.
am.
That's a lesson people need to learn. Put that on the
I
shirt.
am
I'm better
better
off
off
without
without.
my demon.
Yeah, I can access my own dark energy without need of a demon.
Oh, that's a good one. You should put that on a shirt.
That's bad. Have you had any recent memories come forward about the Dark Fleet ship stuff? You've had connections with people at the conference. Anything new come up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've had a ridiculous amount come back. Unfortunately, that at this time I can't say anything publicly about it because the person is still going through it and has not chosen to make anything public.
Yeah.
When that person chooses to go public with it, I will tell what I know about that.
Mm.
But as of right now, I can't really say much more, but there was a whole goddamn bunch more.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
still the same aspect? Are you still the same version of you? Or have you got?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the I will say this about I don't want to say that. Yeah, I was watching because I had to deal with this person throughout my career there, and the person became problematic. And you can just I was watching me as she's going through, or they're going through their thing, that I'm
Yeah.
going through my own thing. And you could just see the characters changing, like as life goes on. It's like I am so sick of this crap. There has to be more here.
Yeah.
And as I was watching through the pro other one, I realized that I was starting to come out of the programming as well
Yeah.
because that's what happens when you're in the SSP. Um, you can
Yeah.
also come out of the programming. You can just start unwinding. It happens
Yeah.
randomly, especially if you're a strong person. You can
Yeah.
be triggered or something. Everything had to be super controlled. Everything from the lighting, the food, the color
Yeah.
scheme, the type of music, the type of entertainment. It was all controlled to the point to keep people in that specific mood.
Well, this is what Drago Reed was talking about on his episode recently about why we're in the merge project together, or the group together, because we kept coming out of the programming. Yeah, so there was a few of us, and Brian Seng was one of them as well. we just kept coming out of it. So they kept torturing us, trying to reprogram us, put us back in.
Yeah.
In the end, they took us out of the wherever we were and put us into that merge, that Monarch Umbrella refugee group, so that we could run specific programs. So the ACIO make it like we were rescued, but I
We
know
were
we were
not.
just
No.
reassigned. We were
Yeah.
reassigned. That was it. With more controls in place, basically. And Draco's got a lot of great information on that, on Red Queen as well. Yeah, so they just so I'm still coming to terms. But it's like he did when he was talking at the conference about who he was then, and his body was different, and he was a Japanese boy. As soon as he said the name of the Japanese boy, I knew instantly who that boy was, and I knew how I used to shorten the name. So I knew that was true. And but it still looked like him basically to me, because it's the soul, isn't it, that you're connecting to, that person's soul. So but I knew it was true. And but it's interesting the way he talks about it, was because we kept coming out of the programming, that's why we were put into the merge. Not because we were rescued, not because they came in to save us, because we kept violating every protocol they put in place. We shot it down. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we tried to wake up everyone else around us. So we became a real high
Liabilities.
liability. Yeah. And so they had to isolate us and put us into our own team. Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because the person I was working with yesterday had a very similar situation. And I remember telling them, yes, you had to be placed in the problem file. And they go, problem file? I was like,
That's
yeah,
us.
that's the one where we couldn't really control you. It was just harder to deal with
Yeah.
you, and just let someone else deal with it.
Hey, I've been in the problem file my whole life. I've never fitted
So
in anywhere, especially not when I was working in construction. Because even if I said the perfect thing, I would say it in the wrong way and I'd still get shot down. So my point of view has always been different to everyone else around me, except maybe you. And so, yeah, so I've always been problem material. Yeah, but that's why I'm in the merge. And that's why I'm in the TIRAP program as well, the Targeted Individual Research Advanced Program thing.
I want to
So
ask you about the Violet Flame class you teach. What's that
yeah,
about?
so I do lots of different Violet Flame work. I consider myself a Violet Flame priestess and anchor. At the moment, I'm teaching Violet Flame Reiki, which is a different modality of Reiki than the Japanese one that most people do. It was brought forward by the goddess Guan Yin, so it's very heart centered. So we're
Okay.
working with the Violet Flame of transmutation and transformation, but we're doing it in an advanced way, working with a lot of symbols, a lot of sigils. There's 40 symbols. And I
Okay.
still work with Saint Germain. He's still one of my main guides, and Master Merlin as well. But Violet Flame Reiki is like an advanced Reiki for other Reiki masters to kind of level up. And out of the 40 symbols, there's probably about 10 that are just for your own personal psionic development. So I've actually got one drawn on me. I don't know if you can see it. So I've got one drawn on my arm, or you can't really see. But
No.
so there's one, it's called Transcendental Consciousness, and that's what we were working with yesterday on my group. And I was literally taking people back with this symbol, taking them back to Lemuria to become elemental. And so we became the water. A fish would swim by and we became the fish, or a turtle, we became the turtle. So there's elements of Violet Flame Reiki that are really advanced, that you can amplify your psychic abilities. But I've also listed the Awakening the Violet Flame chakra, which I'm going to be teaching a lot for the rest of the year, because I bring in a lot more guides to teach that. It's not me and my energy. And I have an additional energy center that's right here. So it's a living fire of the Violet Flame, which is multidimensional and interdimensional. So when I access this fire that literally sits there, I see the Violet Flame in all its iterations, in all its colors, and I can call them forward, and they become rescue flames. But we also work with Lady Portia, and we work with the sight of the soul, and that really enhances psionics as well. So and just truth and justice, very much about truth and justice, working with Lady Portia. So I work with the Violet Flame in lots of different ways. I probably have about 5 different courses. But for me personally, the Indigo Flame is changing again, because I'm connecting into my Arcturian aspect more, into Talanaya, and she's bringing in, which has got a big whoosh of energy, she's bringing in my Flame Scribe remembrance. So I anchor memories. I anchor memories for the galaxy, basically memories from the stars, and that's with a blue and indigo flame. So that's coming forward quite deeply now. That's the work I'm doing for the rest of the year. So I'll be creating that into some kind of workshop to help people tune into what I'm tuning into right now.
And where can people take part in this workshop?
On Zoom, I can do everything on Zoom when it works with the Violet Flame. We don't need to be in person. I will run some in-person workshops later in the year when I'm mobile again, but I've had my foot surgery now. But one of the things I love about Violet Flame, it is eternal and it is conscious and it's always growing and evolving. So when I work with it, my ideas go into the flame and the flame shares its ideas with me. So every practitioner that harnesses the flame shares their essence with it as well. And every student I have working with all the different Violet Flame symbols and sigils, they interpret the symbols in different ways. I'll show you one actually. And so this sigil is like a key to the Violet Flame, and you can ask the flame, how would you like to be used? So the one I've just been working with, oh, here we go. Here's a nice one. So this is just a sigil to open your third eye. But you communicate with the symbol and say, what should I do with you? Where would you like to be? Should I place you like on my eye? Should I have you on my heart or whatever? And this symbol communicates with you through the Violet Flame and through Guan Yin, so the goddess of compassion and mercy. So it's a beautiful modality. You're very supported, you're very protected. And when you work with the rescue flames, we work with a particular symbol that is a bit like when you work with the Merkaba, it becomes a light vehicle. This symbol is similar, so you can expand it out for planetary grid work. You can work personally, you can share it with others, but we're moving more into the grid work with that course, Awakening the Violet Flame Chakra this year, because it's very needed. We need to heal the planet more, and we need to take it off-world as well and start to do the galactic work with the Violet Flame. So there is a Violet Flame planet, but on the Earth, there's Violet Flame reservoirs, and there's one in the core of the Earth as well. So when I call on the Violet Flame, I'm tuning into reservoirs around the planet. When I work with the Violet Flame Chakra, I'm tuning into the actual chakra that's now in the UK. It was anchored in about 12 years ago, I think, by Saint Germain. So I connect into that chakra as well, which helps to purify the planet faster. So it's very rapid Violet Flame work. So it's my main work, it's my main modality is a Violet Flame priestess. And but it's like I've always had that connection. And now more blue flame is coming forward, which I love. Yeah, because my sister, we call her Suzanne Sapphire Soul. So we've got the sapphire from her and we've got the violet indigo from me merging together now. So I know my sister's part of the journey as well now, which is really good. And we did a workshop together recently where we were both doing readings and tag teaming, and it was really good. So yeah, looking forward to doing more with my sister, Suzanne Sapphire Soul. Yeah, but thank you for asking about that. I appreciate that.
Well, no, because from what you sound like, I want to get involved with that. It seems like that would be good for me to develop some abilities, and so if you find out what,
I think the Arcturian flame is something that we can work with together more. Because if you're already starting to feel that sapphire indigo, and that's
since you've been
something.
talking, I've been feeling the flames going all around me. So
Yeah, it's really powerful. So I love being a flame scribe. I love anchoring the violet flame into this planet, and I do feel that's my main work that I'm here to do. So yeah, so it's always evolving. That's one of the things I love about it. So even when people do try and copy my work is always evolving. So you know, they get stuck and I'm still going. Yeah.
I'm wondering how the violet flame will translate into my artwork.
Oh yes, amazing. Well, the pendant that I wear, can you see this pendant?
Yes.
This is violet flame infused. So I work with an artist called Anne Young in the UK. And what she does is she takes her water and her paint and she puts her hands in. And she calls on the violet flame and she calls on her galactic guides, her Guan Yin, you know, Saint Germain, whoever. And she just channels straight into the paint, straight into the water. But she uses the chalice well water from Glastonbury. So she's using like a sacred well water as well. But you don't need to. So she's making that mixture and then she's literally either painting with it or dripping the paint onto like a photo paper as how she does it to make these pendants. But this is really energetic. For me, it calms me down because I'm overpowered like yourself, but this calms me down. So when I take it off, my energy is just massive flame energy. But yeah, I think that would be amazing for you.
What's the artist name again?
Anne Young. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Young.
Anne Young, energy artist Anne Young. So you can find her on Facebook and see her work there. But we've done a lot of things together, me and Anne, and I sell her pendants when I'm at shows. So she custom makes them for me with the violet flame in or with Egyptian energies. And she made one and she just kind of added in an Egyptian one. And on my last show, I saw it and it was the goddess Wadjet, the snake goddess, the cobra goddess, who's recently started to communicate with me. And when I saw the pendant, and I didn't realize I'd had it for like a year, it hadn't sold, and it was Wadjet. I was like, that's mine. That's meant for me. That's why it didn't sell. It's meant for me. So I'm between the violet flame and snake energies. However, I had a snake entity removed from my throat. Did you see that one on Typical Skeptic last Saturday?
Yeah.
They removed a snake entity. Now I knew there was a snake there, but we actually thought it was a guide coming in, like Wadjet. Because on another video of mine, I was with Morris and Sandra Green, and Morris is the spirit that comes through, and they could see there was a snake, but they thought it was because I was getting an upgrade on my throat chakra, like a light language was coming in. But when Deb and Rick Purcell saw the snake and it was blocking the healing, they literally, destroyed it with Phil Barrow. They destroyed the snake entity, so that's gone. So if that was a guide, it wasn't doing a very good job.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I had something happen similar where, or like the couple days before I went to the conference, I just felt like these snakes crawling in me,
oh wow,
and it got to the point where I'm like, something's wrong. So I just decided to go into meditation and just see them. Then I was like, oh, I can see what you actually are now, and I just
yeah,
decided just to burn everything away. And I
yeah.
now I have to just do that regularly. Just go and meditation, look around, see if I feel anything,
Yeah,
and I'll just tell them out loud, like, listen, if there's any positive entities around here right now, clear out because I'm going to do a burn. I
yeah.
can't. I do that a couple times a week now, and
I think that's great. I mean, bringing in the violet flame to do that would be amazing as well.
oh, I
I
was just
need to do that more.
using my regular psychic fire. To actually use a flame might be something better, but
No, no.
it was like because I've also since I started talking to Chris Jacobs
Mm.
on the lifting, which is the guy's a phenomenal channeler. I
Oh,
mean, I have
amazing,
respect for him and
amazing.
Joanne,
Yeah.
and hopefully my interview will be up with him soon because it
Oh,
was a really
great.
good. Yeah, he always says, make sure you set the intention for benevolent beings with non-conflicting agendas. And the way he worded it and the way Joanne worded it afterward, I'm like, yeah, that stuff really needs to be said more. Like before
Yeah,
any.
I saw you doing that on your channeling session with Audrey Walters, and I really enjoyed that channeling session. Thought it was so good. Really
That was her
interesting
second
about.
time doing that.
Was it the second time? It was dead good. I'm looking forward to more, especially because I'm all about crystal pyramids and things like that. So I'd like to know more about the crystal pyramids that are in the
Yeah.
ocean and stuff like
So
that. Yeah,
that was like my first time actually, making sure monitoring
yeah,
it because I had to be on. I had to monitor Audrey's energy. I had to monitor the entity's energy. I had to monitor everyone else, making sure no one was
yeah,
coming around. Then good old Craig showed up, and Craig was
yeah. That
Craig.
was a bit weird. The octopus, like they spend hundreds of thousands of years just plotting how to destroy humanity.
Yeah. Well, funny thing is, he contacted me a couple days ago, and he said he was sorry for the misrepresentation. I'm
Oh
like,
right,
oh, did you get yelled at by your friends that told you what we that whole plan away?
trying to
But
get
he
on our good side.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
said he would try to tone it down next time.
I just got an image of an octopus walking on land with a hat and glasses.
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah, so that Craig, bit dodgy there.
Yeah, but the other ones were interesting. I can kind of feel that I have Hajimal around me. If you
Yeah.
want to try and ask him any questions, I'll see if I can get
Yeah,
anything
I would
in.
love to. I would love to.
So
So
let me just
your
make sure I get
forest
this
person Sasquatch guide coming forward would be
before we
amazing.
do that. Let me just make sure I get this intention set up. So I set this intention for only benevolent beings with non-conflicting agendas, for my greatest good and this greatest good in this sacred space. Let any mischievous beings or negative beings be instantly banished, so that we may have truth and understanding. And I open this circle. Hachimal, if you're ready, you can ask whatever questions, or if you just want to talk, he says let her talk first. So whatever questions you have.
Question.
Yeah.
So what role does the forest people have within the ecosystem and the Earth grid on here on Earth?
He's saying the roles are protectors, monitors, healers. Sometimes it's just to experience it.
And do we have do I have forest people near me here in the UK?
Plenty of them, yes. They've tried to contact you. They will be contacting you. Be ready for them. They can be a bit much at times,
Yeah.
just because they're a little over energized, but set your boundaries and you can talk with them.
So I felt like there was a juvenile, maybe female Sasquatch that came to me recently. Is that true?
Yes, she wandered off.
Okay. Because that was during the Full Disclosure Now conference, so I guess my energy was like quite excited.
Yeah. She was curious about you. She kind of thought she recognized you,
Okay.
but
Now,
you didn't.
when I was
She said,
young, go on, sorry.
no, go ahead, you were saying.
Now, when I was young, I think I had an experience, an encounter with a forest person when I was about 5 or 6, and but it made me afraid. So I don't know if that's true. Any idea what happened there?
Um, well, yeah, you did have an experience with a forest person and you did get scared because you were human and you saw something weird.
Okay.
That's nothing too much about it. Now, he's telling me that you're older, you should get over it.
I am. I'm ready. I'm enjoying this. Thank you. So, what message do they have for just humanity in general?
Message for humanity in general. Um, please be responsible. Have fun when you can, but remember, what did I say? Don't hurt yourselves, don't hurt each other, and don't hurt the planet. And don't operate in fear. And he's also that's the same message you get. I get the ETs give me. He goes, that's because what we want. It's a good message to have.
Okay. So,
So
is
he
it?
says that.
Sorry.
And he's also saying, please stay off the screens.
Right.
Like get outside and actually be in nature. He understands people need the things to leave, but they're very destructive. They're addictive. They're ruining people's lives. Just take down a little bit and go outside a little bit more.
Was there a point in time where humans and their cousins, the forest people, actually were cohabitating in harmony?
Yes, and he says it still happens now, but most people don't talk about it because they don't want the attention. But
Right.
there are people that will cohabitate with them.
Because the only other person I know who's talked to, apart from Chris Jacobs, is Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot, and they always talk about their connections all the time. So I've not experienced a lot. So is there damage that the humans have done to the planet that we can't see yet, but you can see?
Absolutely, absolutely. There is stuff that's being ripped through dimensions that was caused not by you guys, but by different things because of the whole multidimensional nature.
Right. And how do they view all these starship pyramids that we were talking about earlier, the black pyramids?
Well, he says they're remarkable ships of creation and stuff like that, but he doesn't really like them because they're pyramids. He prefers round ones.
All right, round ships.
Yeah, like saucers.
So do they have a family that's off planet?
Yes, they have other worlds, other groups of them, but they don't really use ships, apparently. He says he prefers the gates or the portals.
And are these the same portals that we should have access to that have been taken by dark forces, or have they got their own ways of portaling?
They have their own ways, but he says you guys should have your own portals for your own needs. Yeah, that's what he's getting at.
Yeah. Um, is there one place on Earth where we can all live harmoniously in the future when it's kind of like the Earth is dividing in my mind? Is there going to be a place where we can all just live together?
Not in the way you think. You have to make the environment that you want. You will be given the space to do it, but even if you end up in a wonderful place, you can still have a jerk neighbor. So
So previously I was working on a nuclear processing plant, and outside of it there was forest, a small forest, and there was always tree branches together. Were they portals for the Sasquatch?
the Sasquatch says yes, we were aware of that place. We kept an eye on it.
Yeah, I could feel them there for sure.
There
Yeah,
was they said there were a couple things that they didn't like, but they were just had to keep an eye on it. That's what he was saying. He goes, it
yeah.
wasn't him, it was a different group of Sasquatch.
Okay. I could totally feel that because every day I go and ground into that forest at the start and end of the day. Um, so are there sacred places or energy points that they're protecting that we could actually be working with now?
Yes, they do have sacred energy points. He says at this time, I don't want to tell them where they are,
Okay.
but he goes, once we see that you guys can maintain yourself a little bit better, he'll tell the people who need to know who they are.
And what's the best way for us to contact them?
Um, heart-centered meditation.
Okay.
And,
Do,
like specifically like being your heart centered and ask to speak with the Sasquatch. And
yeah.
they will see a lot of them will see you, and apparently if they like you, they will mark you with a sigil to let other Sasquatch know that you're okay.
Oh, wow. Is
So
that in the auric field?
yeah, in the auric field, they'll mark you with something. So if they offer something like that, again, just practice discernment if someone's handing you something in the astral or anything like that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, they'll put it on so that other Sasquatch can see this guy's okay. Don't push him too far. This guy's a no. So that's what
Like
they'll
a
do.
forest friend. Do you
Yes.
have a forest friend sigil on David?
Yeah, David has a few of them. I have a few of them. He goes, yeah, we've been very interested in you for a while.
Ah.
Oh, okay. He goes, you also had some other ones on you too, so we were trying to get rid of them. Thank you.
So do we get marked by different ET races?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Um,
Sometimes it'll be in the auric field, sometimes
yeah,
it'll actually be on the body itself.
it's a
But
bit
yeah,
disturbing. Okay. Do they have memories of Lemuria and
he's
Atlantis?
laughing right now. He's saying much like your NASCAR people.
Oh, right. We're wearing like patches, and
Yes.
that's funny. Um,
He
oh
does have a
dear.
sense of humor.
Yeah, I bet. It's
He
funny.
says, I think I'm pretty funny.
You are very funny. Do they have memories of Lemuria and Atlantis? Were they there at those times?
We have records. I was not alive for that long, but we do have records of that and the other ones as well. So we share our knowledge. And then he says sometimes your species doesn't, but we like to.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm like,
So how
okay, yeah.
so how can we access that information?
You'll need a guide for that one. He goes back to the heart-centered meditation, start with the basics with the Sasquatch, get yourself up, then they can help you with that one. There are some other beings who will know, can help you along the way, but you have to be in a certain space for them to be active, for them to be aware that you're there and let them know that you're serious and like don't expect this to happen instantaneously or don't just expect like, oh, I'm going to photograph a Sasquatch for my Instagram
Yeah,
or anything like that. That they're very clear on that. Like, we know if you guys are going to do that, we can't be shown publicly yet. We're trying to work around this stupid little system that's mostly an inconvenience, but it has to be there for right now because they said if we show up directly, there's going to be problems with your military. And we don't
okay.
want that because they'll come after you, your family, and us. And that's just something we don't want.
Yeah,
So we
of
have to do it
course.
this way.
So do they experience time in the same way as we do?
We don't like to. Like when we come into your world, we can experience it for a little bit, but afterwards we prefer not to have it.
Wow,
Like I
that's
prefer
such.
not to have it too. I'm getting old here, so it's
Yeah,
normal.
we. And how do they shapeshift? Do they change like the holography and psionics? Do they change how they look when they're in our world?
Um, he says the holography thing is an advanced technique for certain species. Most of the time we'll just phase out or just something psionic like that. Or he's even saying, yes, sometimes we'll use the rubber doll like David spoke about that was strapped to my head that wasn't a rubber doll.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah,
We've spoken about that.
yeah. He covers that in great deal in the interview coming up on Chris Jacobs'
Oh,
show.
right, okay. A rubber doll strapped to his head.
He goes, "It's not a rubber doll. That's what it looked like."
So he's got like a suit, like a disguise. A disguise, yeah.
Yeah, almost like a glimmering or a shimmer.
Yeah. That's mad. No. How do they use crystals technology?
He says the crystal technology is vibration based. It's much like anything over the universe. We've just gotten better at being tuned into them and learning how to work with them. We
Mm.
also some can work with different stones. Everything vibrates as a frequency, and it's just a matter of tuning in and working with that.
No, I'm getting a lot of pressure on my head right now for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, okay, so what work do they do with the ley lines, the dragon lines on the Earth? Is there anything that we can do to help clear these lines and upgrade?
The help would be greatly appreciated, but there are a lot of complex issues. What they're saying is just do like small stuff, like treat yourself better, treat your neighbors, stuff like that, because that stuff will add up, and don't add too much to the problems.
Yeah,
That's basically don't be evil.
okay. That's
That
good
that
advice.
yeah.
That's good. Don't be evil. Yeah. Oh, wow. And is there any advice for people who are like galactics and starseeds who are trying to remember their memories? Do they have any
Yes, all of
support
you
for
are
us?
truly beautiful and wonderful souls. Your memories will come back at various stages when you meet the right people, when you've gone through what you need to go through, and when your mission time comes for you to be activated, you will know what to do. You can train, and you should be doing that anyway, but please be patient with yourself and enjoy the ride. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah. Are there Sasquatches that who are linked to particular human family lines? Like one that would know my whole lineage?
Well, he goes, yes, there are some that have met ancestors and have stayed over the families. He says some of the descendants turned out to be real jerks, but you know, no, yeah, he understands that's what happens. He's like, oh, your grandfather would never like this.
Yeah, because I'm discovering that my dad was a lot more psionic than I realized, and it's got all these ties to military and stuff like that. So me meeting my forest friend when I was 5 would make sense. They're just checking in on me. Do they work with any ascended masters on the planet?
Yes, he himself works with many masters. He can be considered an ascended master, even though that he may have like some people disagree with him on that one, but he can be described as one of those.
Amazing.
He's a very learned man, very
Yeah.
learned,
And
and
do
he
they
said
work with the flame energies as well?
they can, but they don't usually.
Okay.
They work with there's all kinds of different things that they work with. Some are suited to more specific natures, like some people are just better with it, and some people have a preference for other things. But I don't know what he keeps showing me and like he's picking an apple off a tree and just like saying hold the apple. So I don't know what that's about. I
Okay.
don't know, that might not be him. No,
Do
it's
they have,
definitely
sorry, I'm getting a picture of a dragon. Do they have any information about the dragons on the planet?
um yes, he says there are dragons on the planet. They were real. Some look like your ones from Token, and some are Eastern. They are fierce, noble creatures, not pets. Please don't try to have one.
No. Don't train your dragon.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, he's like, no, no, that's not the right idea to do that at all. They are also teachers,
Yeah.
um, but they can also, depending on the individual dragon, just be kind of wild or a little bit of a moody, especially the adolescent ones,
Yeah.
because
And
you don't want to
how
deal
does
with
he
an animal.
feel about cats?
Cats are noble creatures. They've been around for a while. He goes, you humans are a bit obsessed with them, as far as I'm concerned.
Are they linked to
you
the
go, he goes,
reptilians?
you go a little too far with them at times with the cats.
Yeah. Because
He mentioned that a lot.
cats have got reptilian eyes. Are they linked to
Cats have their own
reptilians?
eyes.
Okay. Because lions don't have eyes like that.
Right. No,
Tigers don't
he
have
says
eyes
the
like that.
cats are their own things.
Okay.
The reptilians wish they could be the cats.
Oh wow. So that they could be in
He's not
everybody's
really a
head.
fan of the reptilians.
Well,
You
of
can just
course.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, they smell horrible, they're vile creatures. Okay, thank you. He's
Um.
calling them shit eaters and they crawl on their bellies. And I'm like, okay, apparently you got some issues with them. He's like, yes, I have issues with them as well.
So, what do they call themselves in their own language? Do they have a name?
Yes, they do. On David will not be able to pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
Can I at least try? I can't pronounce that. It's something with an M. It's not
Okay.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
It's something with a he goes telling me to sound it out. Ma Nog.
So I got a Minare
That's the
sound
one
come
I'm
into my
yeah,
mind.
yes,
Okay.
thank you. And he's wondering, I'm probably talking to her. Thank you for ditching me and going to
But
her.
I
Wonderful.
feel there's a download coming in because something's going
Yes.
on. There's
Yeah.
something like
Well,
Minari Gar or something like
Julie's
that.
been
Yeah.
open to wanting to talk to you guys for a while. So when she goes, we will talk to Julie.
Well, I've got some work to do first. Yeah, which hopefully they'll
Understand,
help me with. Yeah.
but they understand. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this because I'm getting a little bit of
Thank
headache
you.
from
Yeah,
dealing
me
with.
too. Me too.
Okay, so
But I really appreciate that. That was so amazing. Thank you.
I want to end this circle, return everyone back to where they came from, thank all the entities that were involved, and so be it. Now I close the circle.
That's
Ah,
really high vibrational.
I know it hurts.
Wow. That's really high vibrational.
Yeah, and he was toning it
Oh,
down.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be
Woo.
surprised the next couple days if you get some visitors.
I am open to the idea of working with my Sasquatch team now for sure.
No, I'm
And
saying you'll be getting some forest folk too.
yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
they are all around you right now. They were like,
Yeah.
are
I
we
get
good?
that
Can
a
we go now?
lot.
Can we talk to her? Because
People
they're
say
like,
that to me all the time. And when I
yeah.
had my wellness studio, there was a gnome that people saw with a little woolly cap on that would always like peek around the doors and things like that. So, but I never see them. But there's definitely people here at the moment.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I'm also still toning into your ship, and now your ship's pissed off that I got worked up for nothing.
well, it's just gonna have to stand down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gave your ship blue balls.
Although, if I could find the Arcturian ship, I really need to go into a healing chamber right now. So my Arcturian ship needs to make itself come online, not the pyramid.
Okay, I mean,
Well, although can I receive healing in the pyramid? I don't, it's more
I'm
of a
pretty
war
sure the ship would
machine.
heal you.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I want to talk to her later. Yeah,
Okay.
that's lovely.
Because like I
Oh,
said, I was watching it turn on, and I was watching the crews like freak out, and the alarms were
yeah.
going off. They were
It's
drawing the
actually
weapons.
I've just seen like a wave like of energy come out of that ship as if to say stay away. And yeah, so people are getting like, whoa, getting
You
like
know, I'm a little jealous that you get your own cool ship.
it's not just one. I can tune into all the Lyran ships.
Oh, how wonderful for you.
I've only had 3 talk to me, so it's mainly this one because it's near me. But the Alaskan one as well. Yeah,
You
I've
know,
seen the
when I met
Alaskan.
Audrey's her little ship, it came into my room, and
Yeah.
people don't realize that the thing is interdimensional. So as big as it is and powerful it is, it's literally sitting in front of me and it's scanning me, and it
Wow.
doesn't like me. And as it's scanning me, it calls me fat. It says you have an increased mass. I have to adjust. And I'm like, did you just call me fat from your
You
ship?
have an increased mass. That's the best thing I've
So,
heard all day.
so I'm texting Audrey because the ship is literally downloading into me, trying to overwrite me. I'm like, hey, Audrey, your ship is being a jerk, called me fat, and it's trying to overwrite my brain.
Yeah.
Then she told it to stop, and it left.
Wow. That's
He said he
amazing.
was just being a little bit protective. I was like, of
Yeah.
protective of what? I have done nothing.
Just it being in her proximity, I think she's probably got a lot of guarding there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, there's a whole issue with that, and we talked about that, and it was like, because like I told the ship, I said, well, where were you when this happened? And the ship got an attitude. I was like, oh, you weren't there where that happened, did it?
Ah.
So they'll come after me for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
And the ship got like
That's smart.
really salty about that.
That's smart. Was there anything else you wanted to chat before we finish? You got
No,
anything coming up? You want to promote your services?
actually, I'm trying to figure out how to label my services and what I actually can do. because
Yeah.
I don't want to promise anything that I can't do. So I got to
So
figure
I
out how to
think
implement.
like me, you also do ascension assistance, helping
Okay.
people kind of find their pathway and make sense of what's going on with their awakening. You do a lot of that as well. And you have an amazing ability to interpret what people are seeing and go deeper with that. So that's fantastic. Um, yes, that's why I'm calling this series Galactic Support Series, because that's kind of what we're doing. And
Okay.
as we talk everything through, we're both expanding our awareness on the topics and things. So yeah. But obviously you go a lot deeper, whereas I work with the Akashic Records and I do cards. You're doing that without using the cards. You're just tuning directly into the light grid.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
okay.
yeah,
So I want to ask you about the Akashic records you work with. Now,
yeah,
a while ago, I was talking to someone, and she was saying like it's a big deal to go to the Akashic records, and I'm like, I go there all the time. I
yeah,
describe the rooms. I describe the blue domes where you can
yeah.
watch everything in like a 3D experience. And she's like, and I explained the endless halls that they have with endless rows of books and scrolls, and
Mm.
she's like, how are you describing? I
Well,
go there all the time. They like wave to me all the time now.
yeah, so
And
yours
she's like,
is I had it written down before. Yours is a bit different. You're actually tuning into the Hall of Records, which are on Arcturus, like
oh,
Syrian Sea and somewhere else. So there's these other halls of remembrance, I think, that you're tuning into, which is fantastic. Yeah. So I tune into people's personal Akashic fields. So their library looks different to that because it's personal. So that's the kind of work that I do. You're going directly into the galactic, which is amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing was, someone I told that to was like, and her jaw was like literally dropped, going like, I have studied for years just to be able to be aware of the thin thing, and you just go in there like it's a Tuesday. And I go, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought everyone could do that. And she goes, no, David, not everyone can do that.
No, some of us are DNA record keepers. That's the difference. So that
Yeah.
we've, naturally done that through all our incarnations, and other people have to work at it. But we naturally have access and authority to go into these things because we've always done it. And but other people can remember and access their own Akashic records. One of the things I do, especially on my Saturday group, is I talk people in through meditation, and I give them a visual. So I basically describe a little bit what their library looks like, what they should find in there, but how they interpret it is different. So my library looks like the library from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So when they go into that school library where they
Okay.
meet Giles, and that's what mine looks like. But I always describe the library as I take people in through a hallway, and the door is there with their name, their date of birth, all their personal information, so they know it's their library. And then when we go in, we describe it to be very well lit as well, because some people go in and it's pitch black and they get scared. So I add in little things like it's well lit. There's a large table with your present lifetime book. You're surrounded by scrolls and books and artifacts that you've collected from lifetimes. But most importantly, you're not alone in there. You've got your Akashic record keeper guides, right? Or you can meet your higher self, or you can connect to your angelic team or whoever, but it's all in there. And then we go through different doorways, and each doorway is matched to our intention. So there's always an intention, otherwise you get lost in there because it's your eternity. You could get lost in there. So we go in with a specific thing that we want to know or want to heal, and then that door will appear for that activity. So
So
I go, yeah, go on.
it's very much like the universe is inside of you.
Exactly. So I go into, generally a lot of the time, especially when people are feeling very low, I'll take them into their armory to access their weaponry and shielding and things like that. Or I'll take them into a healing chamber, and their guide team will come in to do that. So it's a bit like when we do the witches pagan studies, we go to Yggdrasil, the tree of life, and you go into your personal temple. It's a bit like that. So your Akashic record library is your personal temple space,
Oh,
right?
speaking of witches, did you find out about the symbol I asked you about?
No, remind me. You have to remind me. I forgot it.
Is
I'll
this
check.
is this still recording, or do we stop
It's
recording?
still recording. So we'll
Okay.
stop the recording now. So if anybody wants to book in directly with me or David, you can visit my website, which is anchorhaven.co.uk, or you can email David or check his Instagram. Do you want to give your links?
Yes, my Instagram link is Cactus Smile 39, and my on Facebook I'm David Purcell. I should have my site up within the end of the month, so I should be offering services, and on my site I'll be discussing my adventures I've had. Usually there'll also be some art that I'll be putting up there, and hopefully it'll grow into I'll be able to interview other fun people, and we can continue to share the knowledge.
Yeah. And if you wanted to book in with us together, then that's an option as well. So yeah, thanks you for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.